Okay, who is ready for tip number 2? Tip number 2 talks about the different accounting methods. There are 2 main methods that everybody uses. You can use one method for tax and one method for books. That's completely fine. Tax is not the focus of our discussion today, though. We're talking about operations and operational performance. So, if you're looking at a cash basis profit and loss statement, that cash basis profit and loss statement is really only a statement of cash flows. It tells you how much you brought in, how much you paid out, and how much you have left over. So it's largely a glamorized picture of your bank statement. And does that actually help you make more profitable decisions? Possibly not when you're looking at operational performance. It is helpful, but it's not where you need to focus if you're looking for how to make more profit. When you're looking for how can I make more profit, we have to talk about the accrual basis method. The accrual basis method is based on performance, because if you perform a job, you bill for a job. When you bill for a job, that revenue that you invoice out now sits on your profit and loss statement. It goes right to your top line, and then what you pay out for your expenses, which produced your ability to bill for that income, then your sales minus your cost of goods sold is your gross profit on the job. So we're talking about performance-wise, this is your gross profit on the job. It doesn't mean that your customer paid you, and it didn't mean that you had paid your workers. It only meant that on a matching principle basis, the income or the sale for a job and the cost of the labor for the job is on the same period of profit and loss. So if you did a job in January and all of the performance was in January, you should be able to look at your January profit and loss statement and determine how much you made on the job. It is a job costing type of presentation. It doesn't mean that you paid your workers, and it doesn't mean that you received the money. So when you are looking at accounting basis, and we're talking about QuickBooks now, QuickBooks specifically is facilitating this slide. If you're using a different type of software, your software will look different. And if you're using QuickBooks Desktop, this will look different also. But in every financial software, you should have the ability to choose how to run your profit and loss statement. Meaning you can choose to run your profit and loss statement in the accrual basis method or the cash basis method. So if I was Cactus Jack and I wanted to know how I performed in January, I would not look at cash basis. I would look at accrual basis and see how I performed. And so the importance of closed periods is really, really important here. Closed periods means that all of the expenses for the period have been billed to you, and all of the jobs that you have performed have been billed out. So as long as your invoices for the jobs you performed have been booked or posted, meaning sent to your customer and posted to your software, that performance will land on your January profit and loss statement. And if the workers have been billed to your company, Cactus Jack has 1099 laborers, so that those laborers might likely have their own business and they are subcontracting out in this case. If they have sent you a bill for the work that they have performed and you have entered their bill into your software Now, everything matches. The performance for that period matches. You have all of your outstanding bills and invoices posted to that period. If you're missing something, then you don't have all of the information. So, dates matter when you're talking about accrual basis performance. Accrual basis revolves around dates, and the dates that you enter should reflect the service period. If you perform a job in January, your invoice date should also be January. If you're performing in January, but your invoice date to your customer is February, guess what? Your February profit and loss statement will have that sale, not January. So your dates are super, super important when it comes to accrual basis accounting and matching things up. This is called the matching principle also when you're talking about generally accepted accounting principles. Dates matter and timing matters. So going back to closed periods in the matching principle, if you are the person in charge of posting activity to your software and you know your company performed a job, but yet you know you haven't received all the bills for that job, you can't close the period. You have to sometimes call someone and say, hey, we did a job, or we bought some plants, or whatever the case may be. We bought some plants for you and you never generated a bill for us. You've never billed us, and we need to post our bill so that we can pay you. But the most important part of that is if you don't have all of your bills and your invoices posted, then when you look at the profit and loss statement, it doesn't tell you anything useful. All of your activity hasn't been properly matched to the posting period. So, this is where we talk about accrual basis accounting 101 is based on the matching principle. If you can remember that you have to match activities that belong together into the same period, then you're going to get this right really quickly. It's just a matter of remembering, I billed this out on the period date that I was earning this money. It was in January. I need all my January bills to be posted before I can close the period. Once you close the period, then you can look at your profit and loss statement and understand something from it and understand something meaningful from it. So, if there's any questions about that, generally accepted accounting principles or GAAP is where you need to study. So, at this point, I will leave it up to the class to ask questions, and we will take a short break.